What's up, everyone? Aaron here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Iron Factory's IF-EX27 Shrike's Feather, also known as Slipstream. So, Slipstream has gained a lot of popularity here recently, as she was recently featured in the Cyberverse cartoon series. But old Transformer animated fans probably remember her the most fondly, in which she was presented as very smarmy and intelligent, and easily the most competent of Starscream's clones, or so it appeared anyway. I also remember seeing her in the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. I used to play those a lot, and she had a pretty cool design in that. But other than that, she's pretty much, no pun intended, flown under the radar until Cyberverse. So it's nice that they featured her, and hopefully we'll get to see more of her because I think she's a cool character. Maybe Hasbro will take a stab at her in the main line, or it would be nice to see some other Legends companies take a look at her, since I believe this is the only incarnation of her that exists in third party Legends, as far as I know. But let's get a closer look at her, shall we? So here's the box she comes in. It's your standard Iron Factory fare, but it looks pretty cool. Got some silhouettes of her in jet mode flying back here. She is Shrike's Feather. She looks pretty cool charging here. I like the alternate name of Shrike's Feather too. The Shrike is a group of small predatory songbirds that like to impale things like mice on any sharp points they can find. So, yeah, I think that's an appropriate name. She's also known as Streamwing, if you had any doubts that this was Slipstream. So, there you go. As far as the box goes, you'll also get instructions with her, and you also get a flight adapter piece that plugs into her in jet mode that you can use with the old Iron Factory stands that came with a few of them. But with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at Slipstream here, because I love this little figure. I think she's awesome. Now, as far as her colors, they're very on point too, especially the original Transformers animated Slipstream, but pretty much every incarnation of her has used this purple, black, and this teal sort of sea green color, whatever you want to call it, turquoise. But it's a cool color scheme. I like it a lot. This is all purple plastic here, a little bit of black plastic, and this sea green plastic as well. But she does have a pretty good amount of paint on her as well. So, get a closer look at her here, and she's got some big chibi-esque eyes here, but I think it works for her. They're painted red, silver face paint. Love the detail on the head sculpt here. Looks really good. Um, Head's on a ball joint, so you can get 360. I'm not going to do it though, because um, I just don't want to risk. It's kind of tight fit, and I just don't want to risk scraping any of the paint off of her face. But you can do it. Head down just a tiny bit, up a pretty good amount, and as you saw, lots of attitude. So she's got that going for her. Now, as with all the other Iron Factory Seekers, this isn't the same mold, but it shares a lot of that mold engineering aspects. You can articulate her wings however you want on her. I usually just kind of leave them up and maybe lab back a little bit. That's kind of what I go for. But you do whatever you want with your figure. But yeah, it looks good. She's got some paint here, silver and purple for the trim here on the wing. I think it looks pretty good. Her null rays are decked out in silver paint. They look good. They just plug in on this tab on her arm. So if you want her to hold them, she can do that as well if you would prefer that look. But then you kind of gotta hide that big ugly tab, in my opinion. So I just leave them on there. But that's an option that you can have for her. Her hands are painted silver. As far as arm articulation, she's on a ball joint, so she can get out to there, and you can get 360 with it. Elbow on a ball joint as well, so you can move that however you want. No wrist articulation. Now, she's got paint here on her cockpit here, on her chest, on her waist right here. And I won't use the term I use for the other Seekers. I will just say that she's channeling her inner Artemis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia here with this silver paint. But it looks pretty good. No waist articulation just due to how small she is and just the build of the figure, but that's okay. I don't think you really need it as far as that goes. Her thighs are painted silver. Looks great. They're on a ball, this T-ball joint, so as you can see, you can do full splits. She can kick all the way up. She could kick all the way back if her part of her backpack wasn't in the way. But yeah, and 90 degrees of knee bend as far as that goes. And again, you can you do that? Can you pull them out with there? I don't think you can like you with the other Seekers. So that's your knee articulation. She got landing gear folding out on her shins here. And she's got a pretty awesome ankle rocker here and toes down just due to them turning into the thrusters of the jet. But I love the high heels that she's got rocking here. Looks cool. And the back's what you would expect. Folded down cockpit, you know. It's not terrible. It's fine. It's not that obtrusive, so. But yeah, a pretty good looking little Seeker in my opinion. I think she looks awesome. And you get a pretty good amount of articulation with her. So, let me get some size comparisons for you guys with her. So, here she is with our boy Iron Factory Runabout, and with the only other Legends, third-party Legends Fembot that I have in Windblade from Iron Factory as well. So, they look pretty good together. Here she is with a regular Iron Factory Seeker, and because I had him out, Iron Factory Megatron. So, considerably smaller than most of your Iron Factory figures. Here she is with Hasbro Core Class Starscream, and with Hasbro's Reveal the Shield Thundercracker that I just reviewed. And I think she looks pretty good with both of these. And finally, here she is with some other Flyboys from some other brands to give you some further ideas. Unique Toys Brainstorm, Mechanic Studio, Octane, and New Age Thundercracker. So let's get Slipstream transformed. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you that you're probably going to need to go ahead and take these off now. Just save yourself time later. Unlike the regular Iron Factory Seekers, where you can kind of just rotate them on the tab there on their arms. You probably going to need to take them off for her. Just also due to where they suggest you plug the guns in jet mode. So go ahead and do that. Now, I'll go ahead and show you guys too, as far as her head goes. If you want to turn her head around to kind of hide the visibleness of it, you can. And it does fit like so. But I'll just go ahead and tell you now that whenever you're snapping this cockpit down, as you can see, it's pushing her head already. So you can get it down here like this, but I just worry about messing up that paint. I don't really want to have to fix that up. But it does work like that, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. I just wanted to show you guys that option. It easily goes down a lot easier like that when you just leave her head like that. So we'll go ahead and do her legs too. They work just like the other Iron Factory Seeker legs, in that the upper leg compresses into the lower leg like that, just folded on that hinge. They're a little weird, but just it probably helps to push if you want to pull the iron landing gear out. Probably makes it a little easier. But I'm dumb and I don't think about these things, so go ahead and fold her tail fins up and out like so, and we can fold her feet in to form her jet engines thrusters there. And you're just going to turn the wings around here. They work too like this, just like the other Seekers, just folding that a little bit down. They're a little different here though, in that there's a tab right here, as you can see, and you will just want to tab it into right here to hold that wing secured in place. And then you're going to take her arms, and as you can see, you've got a slot here and a tab right there. And you just want to tab them into the wings like that. Secure them in place. And then just take your guns and just port them into these right there. And there you go. You pretty much got Slipstream in her jet mode. We'll clean her up real quick and we'll take a close look. And here's Slipstream in her jet mode. I'm not exactly sure what kind of jet it's meant to be. The other Iron Factory Seekers are very F-22-esque. You know, they're not exact, but they're very similar. Not sure what this one is exactly, but I think it looks pretty cool, in my opinion. Again, her colors, classic colors, look really cool like this. And again, you can see the paint trim here, the silver and purple here. You can see it here on the tail fins as well. Got some silver here next to the cockpit on the intakes or whatever that is. I'm no jet engineer, so I don't really know. And again, visible everything here, which is why I wasn't too concerned about hiding her head, since everything else is still right there. She does have landing gear right here that you can fold down if you want, but this is as far as this landing gear goes down on her knees, so I mean, that's right on the ground. But you know, if you want to do that, you can do it. I usually just leave it folded up though. But yeah, I think she looks pretty good. Not really a whole lot else to say about her. So let's get some size comparisons on her, shall we? Here she is with Iron Factory Windblade, and I just really like how these two look together. With the regular Iron Factory Seeker, with a New Age Seeker, with the Hasbro Combiner Wars Legends Seeker mold, and with Hasbro Reveal the Shield Legends Class Starscream that I just reviewed. So there's some ideas for you on size. So, final take on Iron Factory's Shrike's Feather, aka Slipstream. I love her. Think she's a great little figure. She's an excellent addition to the Iron Factory Seekers if you were in for collecting those. She is still available, but I have seen the prices pretty high for her. I'm honestly not sure if she's really worth the prices I see a lot of sellers asking for, unless you're really just a big fan of the character. So I'll leave that up to you as to whether you want to try and track her down for your collection. But I'm very happy to have her in my collection. I think she works great with Windblade, like I said, and she, as you saw with the scales, she scales pretty well with a lot of different options in your collections. So I think she's a great figure as far as that goes as well. But that's going to do it for the review. Hope you all enjoyed it. Have a good one. Till next time.